Hey everyone, welcome back to TBM Sports. Let's talk about it. We have Monday Night Football, a couple Titans at the top within the NFC as we look to close out Week 10 as we want to talk Monday Night Football with the Eagles and the Pack. This one will be in Lambeau. I'll give you guys my best bets. A lot of props I like, and I do have some liability for a lot of reasons on a side. We'll discuss that later on in this video, and we'll break down all the props I think that are interesting and which ones that I'll be taking. Apologies for not getting any picks out yesterday for the full card in the NFL world. We were traveling back, and got to be honest with you guys, it was a very interesting 1 o'clock window, and the 4 o'clock games definitely, I think, delivered more so as the favorites rolled. We saw the Lions, we saw the Rams, and also, I think that as you look into the big one elsewhere, that was the game that we did see within the Seattle Seahawks. So a lot of NFC teams just kind of looking really good as we look at that battle wrapping up as we get over that halfway mark in the NFL season. Let's talk about what we have going on tonight and get you guys out of here. If you haven't liked this video, hype it up, whatever you got to do. Subscribe to the channel. That's a new feature on YouTube, the hype button. So if you guys need to check that one out, please, I do appreciate the support. Let's get into the picks. We will use Outlier to break this all down as we look at the Packers. All right, short money line favorites at home as you want to lay 1.5 for a plus 100 figure. This is one where if you do like the Packers, do not take the minus 1.5. I know you get almost about 12 cents of value, but still it's not worth it. If Green Bay only wins by 1, something crazy happens late with a field goal or some 2-point conversion, safety, just stay out of that 1-point conversation. It's not worth the 12 cents in my opinion, okay? Also, we see the majority of the handle there taken on the side of the over here, 45.5. Will be a little bit chilly up there. Night game in Lambeau always gets a little weird, but the under is kind of where I find myself gravitating towards, 45.5. If you want to find a full 46, great. This is something where you look into the Eagles. They've been cashing a lot of over tickets, okay, as we look at 5 of their last 6 games. And then conversely for the Pack, it's been kind of a hit or miss, but they do have more unders than overs on the season. In their last 10 games, okay, 6 of their last 10, they do shy to the under conversation, okay. Not enough to kind of get the ball moving in that direction. I don't have a play for integrity's sake on the side or total. This is something where if you do like the same game teaser market, this one's staring you right there in the face. 6 points in Philly's direction. It gets you over that 7.5 key number. And then also you will be able to take the under 51.5 if you do see fit. Okay, so that's kind of how I would stack up. Something I am going to be entertaining. Primetime unders, Lambeau. The Packers are one of those teams that do bleed the clock if they ever do have a lead. And I think the Eagles, very slow team offensively too once they get that lead. So if we do get something, maybe a tight battle, this is one that I do think that does go under 51.5 and taking the Eagles up to 7.5 there in the spot. Okay. I do like the Eagles. I do have some futures consideration where I do need them to win. So I do have a very small, I guess you would say, lean towards the Eagles straight up on the money line plus 100, but kind of the opposite conversation. I would lay the 14 cents of juice that you could find there plus 1.5 for the Birds. Okay, so if you're getting the plus 1.5, that's kind of where I would pay for the juice. If you have to lay the 1.5, I gravitate towards more so paying that and playing on the money line. Okay, but as we do look into the prop world, I want to talk about the fact that we have seen Matthew Golden's a little banged up. We also do get the unfortunate news. Tucker Kraft, he will be on the IR. That's a horrible injury, a very key shining spark for that Green Bay offense. And I think they will have to rely on if they want to make any noise in the postseason. Then also kind of a weird spot where we would have seen Jair Alexander going against kind of his old club. And he will be out in this game. Also, center for the Philadelphia Eagles will be out as well. And I'm not really loving that one due to I have a play on the tush push tonight. So when you do have the center kind of screwing up that cadence, we've seen this in the past. Jalen drops a few snaps, just doesn't get that push in those yard and a half and short situations. Kind of going to leave us a little bit, maybe I guess you'd say a question mark, but we're going to trust the Eagles that they will find this find the solution to having Juergens out. So that's kind of how I see this playing out. But also Green Bay, they're a little banged up there on defense. Okay, I think the Green Bay injuries outweigh Jair Alexander. The Eagles never had him in the first place this year, and Juergens, I think that's just one key player compared to the handful that the Packers do have missing for this contest. Okay, so as we do look into the props, I'll start off with the guy I like the most. I think this is a clear-cut Devonta Smith game. The way that the receptions go for receivers, they are number, I guess you say second from the bottom. The pack is within allowing receiving receptions. So I do want to double dip on Devonta Smith. I will be personally playing the receptions over 4.5. But as we do look at his receiving yards, okay, this is something way too small in my opinion. Okay, 49.5. If you wanted to find it at 53.5, you do get that with some better value, and that's kind of where I stack up. So a little double dip on Devonta Smith. You could also parlay this, correlate it a little bit, and if you do get some good numbers by taking a basically over 3.5 and over, I think over 40, get some pretty considerable low discounted juice. Okay, that's another side way to take it. But if you wanted to bet it straight, I do like the receptions and receiving yards for Devonta Smith. My official play will be on the receptions over 4.5 in this spot. Okay, and I will recap all of my best bets at the end of this video. Okay, also Brandon McManus, kickers. Okay, I think this is one that will shine bright as well. I do like Brandon McManus to go over his line. Anytime we can get some value here at plus money, that's kind of where I look towards the kicking props. Yes, there are situations where it's a no-brainer. You might have to lay minus 160, minus 170, and it's going to be a foregone conclusion that they do score 2, maybe even 3 field goals. We've had those kind of circumstances this season, but this is something where plus 105, plus money there for McManus to get us 2 kicks. I think this one is going to be a very strong proposition. As you do look at Philadelphia, they allow the most field goals, which isn't a negative stat. That means that they have pretty good red zone defense and prohibiting people from converting into 6 points. So give me McManus at plus 105 over 1.5 kicks. That will be an official play as well. And I do have a kind of home run bet here that will be something, if you guys have any basically free tokens or I guess you would say risk freeze or just some kind of crazy value, if you are looking for it, I will share with you guys what that is. And I will kind of tease that one for the end of the video. Okay. And next, let's talk about the tight end market, okay? Because we did say Tucker Kraft would be out for this game, but in comes Luke Musgrave, which is not, the worst backup and replacement. I think a lot of NFL teams would love to have Luke Musgrave on his team, on their teams respectively, but I do think this is something where we do get value. I think Tucker Kraft has cashed this a lot of times throughout the season, and as you do look at the Eagles there against the tight end position, they are pretty good, okay? They are pretty good against a tight end position, but still, instead of taking, 4 grabs or, 35 yards, something like that, I think there is value as we look at what happened last week against Carolina. Musgrave stepped in and had a grab for 21, okay? So that being said, if we want to kind of allude for the target share, right, Tucker Kraft made up almost 20% of the Packers' workload. I think that if we do kind of get in a Musgrave conversation, he's going to get a bump going up from 4.3, probably around that 15 to 20%. But I think that that's kind of where we find some value based on these algorithmic props they throw out here, just because he's the next man up. I am going to take Luke Musgrave over 14.5, longest reception, and that will be one of my official plays as well. Now, next, the Jalen Hurts conversation. I'm not going to be playing this, but I did want to make a mention of it. Okay, as we look at the last 5 games and even head to head, okay, it's boom or bust, right? Feast or famine. 311 passing and rushing yards. My least favorite prop to bet in the NFL is passing yards, but I do think this is an angle where we do see, maybe Saquon Barkley off of a huge game, his best game of the year against the Giants. Maybe a little backseat, some regression in a game that they need to win. Yes, they are going to be going back to the basics, which does include him from a game script, but this is kind of why it's going to tie into that kind of home run bet. I guess you would say my long shot of the day. We'll get to that next, but this is something where I do want to talk about Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to have a heck of a day running the football, but as we look at these last 2 head-to-heads, he's only had 33 and 36 rushing yards respectively in 2 prior matchups against the Packers. And it is worth noting, okay, this is kind of a revenge script. The Eagles beat the Packers last year in the regular season, and then also they did take them down in the postseason. So 0-2 were the Packers against the Eagles, and now they're at home, and I think this is something where it's almost going to be a prideful game. The only thing that does scare me, if that does kind of spill over into 2025 as we look at this matchup, okay, but in the last 5 games, Jalen Hurts, this one, the numbers don't back it up. The matchup doesn't back it up. You look at the Green Bay pass defense, 11th in passing yards allowed, 2nd in rushing yards allowed. It's just something where I don't like it, don't love it, but I think this is something where we could see Jalen Hurts go over this 224.5 rushing and receiving number, okay? And that's exactly why I'm going to bet him to score a touchdown, okay? I need this one pretty bad for personal plays that I do have still live from yesterday, but we will go Jalen Hurts touchdown. And the only reason I really bet it, honestly, is because he has failed to score a touchdown in 4 of his last 5 games. You know, prime time, things are called a little differently. Tucker Kraft's now absent. They may key in on that sequence within Saquon Barkley. I'm just envisioning, Devonta Smith catching a ball down the sideline, getting pushed out at the 4, at the 3, and then pretty much we already know what it is, and Jalen Hurts will find his way getting a tush push into the end zone for 6. And I love the number, okay, plus 115. Yes, if you want to back Saquon, lay the juice, fine. That's probably going to happen as well. But plus 115 for Jalen Hurts to find the end zone is one of the best numbers we've had this season. And it's kind of one that I'm going to take because he's due, right? He hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 games. He's thirsty. He's hungry for it. I think that we've saw this. You say it doesn't matter, but I do think it does matter. Primetime quarterbacks taking the game in their own hands. I think the zone run script, the zone run reads, he's going to get a little bit, I think, overzealous and looking to take advantage and run the football tonight in this contest. So that's kind of why I'm kind of going against the grain. I'm going against the numbers. Just kind of going to go with my gut here. Jalen Hurts has a big day running the football. Maybe not necessarily from a yards perspective, but I do think that when we get closer and within that 5-10 yard line, he will take matters into his own hands. So Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown will be one of my best bets, okay? And next and finally, let's get into that home run play, all right? And you'll see this at the top of your board, 17-1 on FanDuel. If you do, like, for example, one of those things where you applied it to college football and they give you like a $10 bonus bet, for losing, I guess you would call it. This is kind of something that I'm going to just take a stab on, right? I cashed this one on the Super Bowl. It's something I think that has more value than maybe potentially taking the, first touchdown score, 2 touchdowns. I just think that Jalen Hurts at 17-1, okay, most rushing yards. Josh Jacobs just doesn't look like himself. He's going against a vaulted defense. Same thing goes for Saquon Barkley. They give up the 2nd fewest rushing yards, okay, in the NFL, in the Green Bay Packers. So maybe you look at Barkley, he only gets maybe 50, 60 yards, and Jalen Hurts has about 20 to 30 entering that 3rd, 4th quarter, and he busts one for 40, 50 yards. Would not shock me if he gets into the 70s, and then we do see him cash this. So I will have a very, very small percentage play on the most rushing yards going for Jalen Hurts, 17-1. It's just too much value. It's probably going to lose, but it's just too much value to pass up. So it will find my card in a very small manner. Okay, so that's it, guys. That is my breakdown of Monday Night Football. We'll recap the best bets. If you haven't liked, comment, and subscribe, leave your picks. Leave me a comment. What are your picks that you'll be playing for Monday Night Football? But I will have Luke Musgrave over 14.5 longest reception. Hurts touchdown at plus 115. And then we're taking the Devonta Smith over 4.5 grabs at minus 114. And like I said, very small percentage on the most rushing yards, Jalen Hurts. And like I'm talking guys like $10. It's going to be probably like a 5% of a unit, just a little flyer. If you have a 10, I think I have a $20 bet and get token available, and I'm going to be just kind of splashing on the most rushing yards because it's probably going to lose, but I think at 17-1, it's worth a stab. So that's what I got for you guys. Appreciate it. We'll have college basketball back at it as we do look at the Monday slate, and get you guys on your way and into the new week as we look forward to week 11 here in the NFL coming very shortly. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.